Farming to me is my livelihood and provides me with my home, and is also my lifestyle. But I don't like the phrase farming is a lifestyle, because although it is, people forget that it's also a business, and I think the phrase is coined around too much, to the point where farmers sound like they're a bit sacrificial.
Yeah.
And what they do is a sacrifice for the public when it's not. They've got a right to make a living, just like everybody else. And yeah, that's what it is. Farming, it's enjoyable, but it provides me with where I live, and I'll make my living.
What's one thing that you wish people knew or understood better about farming?
That farmers aren't these monsters that they're made out to be, and that they don't care about sending their animal to slaughter. When I take my animals to slaughter to the market, I don't say goodbye and pat them and cry over it, but I certainly treat them with respect up until the end.
Who do you think are the people that are treating farmers like monsters?
I think
Where do you think that perception sort of comes from?
I think there's a rhetoric of farmers being money hungry and only driven by money. I think part of that is government, and the vegan movement as well.
Do you think farmers get enough support, from the government, from communities, just in general, I guess?
I don't think we get the subsidy, and it's called subsidy for a reason. It's not called support. It's subsidy payments, which subsidises our cost of living, essentially. It's meant to subsidise the cost of production, but it doesn't. It's a cost of living subsidy, which is soon going to be taken away. I think in terms of support, farmers don't get anything, because in order to access these new subsidies, farmers have to go through a minefield of paperwork and legislation that isn't very well detailed to somebody who's working a 16, 17, 18 hour day in pissing wet rain. It's all designed for the money to possibly be there, but not very easily given out. There's absolutely there's no pathway to find these grants and different things that are replacing our subsidy. It was designed to meet the cost of production, and I think it's by design.
Who do you think's orchestrating that design? Where do you think that's coming from?
I don't think it's government in terms of central government. I don't think it's any scheme. I think it's the private equity and big business behind government that are pushing for small farmers and small businesses in general to be out, because it's not in their interest for small scale economy to thrive. It's all pushing for big. It's pushing for the death of the middle class, which is what most farmers would consider themselves to be.
What do you think the future of farming looks like?
Bleak. Very hard to get a start if you're a young person coming into farming. And I don't think it'll change until there's a food shortage. We saw in COVID the quick rise of people wanting to produce home-made food, and it was great for a while, but it's soon been forgotten about now. And the price of everything went up. But until there's a food shortage, which there will be with all these trees and environmental schemes.
Got a few trees out here.
But it's the right tree in the right place there.
What about this one?
It's not... Yeah, it forms part of a hedge.
Not Nice head cheer.
So I think at the minute, the future of farming is pretty bleak. Don't know where it's going because there's no policy for it. There's nothing. We don't know how it's heading, and you can't buy a farm anymore because it's all bought by private equity firms wanting to use the carbon credits.
What sort of private equity firms are buying farms?
Well, firms like Ryanair.
Interesting.
Who are buying up parcels of land to plant trees to offset their carbon so they can keep flying planes around the world.
What's the best thing about farming?
Working with animals, being outside, working with your dogs, seeing animals thriving.
Where are the animals?
Well,
They're over there.
There's a few lame ones in there.
They don't like the piss and rain.
So yeah, there's a joy in it every day.
If you had one wish, what would it be?
Clarity. Give farmers some clarity. The old CAP system had its flaws, but at least you knew you were getting that lump sum and you could financially plan. It feels like you're treading water all the time, trying to plan for the next year, and just keeping your head above water, really.
Clarity, yeah. That's a good point. There is a big lack of communication, and yeah, things just seem to get pushed along, especially in the UK. You never know when you're going to find out when the next grant's going to come out, so that's a good point, really. I think a lot of people feel that way. But yeah, thank you very much, Pete. Yeah. Any final words?
No, I best go get these gimmer lambs.
Nice.